Conway.
I am such a fan.
Oh yeah? What is it you do?
Would you mind signing my book? Espionage.
Who are these people?
Real-life spies. What you wrote in your book actually happened. I need her to write the next chapter.
I can't pull off a spy mission.
Everything hinges on this.
God, I hate that cat.
Argyle in cinemas February 1st.
Whether it's a new workout high, raising your spirits in our classes, or floating on air in our spas. Elevate your everyday with David Lloyd Clubs. Try a 3-month membership today.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill. The following programme is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now! How do you like it?
Close the show. So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys! Still the undisputed champion of the world!
Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's press conference for our first UK show of 2024. Just 8 weeks on from victory in the Battle of Belfast, Lewis Crocker returns to headline in his home city against the big punching Mexican, who is no stranger to an Irish upset, José Félix. Crocker Felix tops a 7-fight card this Saturday live on DAZN from the Ulster Hall here in Belfast. Jamie Ward here and back alongside my trusty companion, sidekick, former IBF world middleweight champion, Mr. Darren Barker. Darren, after a bit of a break, you were, of course, out in Saudi for the special day of reckoning, but it feels good to be back, doesn't it?
No, it does. It does. It's a brilliant city. I've got fond memories here. I used to come here as an amateur a lot, Repton versus the Dockers, so it's got a little place in my heart, Belfast.
And when you think about this show in particular, we always talk about your groans from the commentary desk. I think we're going to hear a few of them on Saturday night, but what sticks out to you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I think, look, there's so much talent on the card, but usually I start at the bottom and I work my way up. But I think the main event, two big punches, it cannot disappoint. Fireworks from the off.
And it's the first time for myself up here doing a press conference.
Yeah, look, you was my old T-boy.
I know.
Now look at you.
On the sofa.
Look at you.
Well, so far, so good.
Times have changed.
Moving on. You didn't get that one. We'll move on anyway. Anyway, here is a quick reminder of the order of play for Saturday's action. Live, as I say, on DAZN. We begin at 6 p.m. live on Matchroom DAZN YouTube for our Before the Bell segment as Layli Buttigieg fights for the second time as a professional. He's in with Arsham Spatar, 4 rounds at Super Welter before 9-0 Kurt Walker, part of the Condon Boxing camp, meets Darwin Martinez over 6 rounds at Super Featherweight. We then cross live onto the DAZN broadcast at the usual time of 7 p.m. Giorgio Vizioli steps up to 6 rounds for professional fight number 2. He's in with 4-2 Samuel Pikiri. Conor Walker is back after his rematch with Cyrus Pattinson was unfortunately postponed. He takes on Cardiff's 9-0 Lloyd Germain in defence of his WBA International Welterweight title over 10 rounds before the high-flying Paddy Donovan looks to move 13 without loss against Argentina's Williams Herrera. 10 rounds that one for the WBA Continental 147 pounds title. Chief support is a cracker. Tokyo Olympian and now 7-0 professional Chev Clark takes a big step up in calibre as he meets former European champion Tommy McCarthy over 10 for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Cruiserweight title, setting us up nicely for that main event. Belfast's own Lewis Crocker collides with José Félix in a guaranteed barn burner over 10 rounds for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Welterweight title. Well, we are going to be doing things a little bit differently. You would have seen this format previously on some of our shows last year. The sofa format, me and Darren will be inviting fighters up in relevant groups to have a little chat and preview all the weekend's action either side of Matchroom CEO Frank Smith. Firstly, we're going to bring up two young prospects who I just mentioned there, Lely Buttigieg and Giorgio Visioli, who certainly got the memo to excite on their professional debuts. They're looking to extend their records to 2-0 this weekend. And also Kurt Walker. Let's welcome the boys to the stage.
Giorgio Visioli.
Oh, lovely left hand from Visioli.
What's a debut? You can see what it means to the very impressive Lely Buttigieg, 18 years old, but what a shot that was. High left hook. What's a debut for the young man?
What a debut, what a shot from Giorgio Visioli.
That is how you make a statement.
Lely Giorgio Visioli.
We're talking about the groans from the commentary desk.
Yeah, sorry.
Just had a few of them
Can't
there. Lely, let me start with yourself. Back in Belfast, just 8 weeks on from the professional debut, how does it feel to be back so soon? I guess after, in many ways, what would have been the dream start for yourself.
Yeah, it feels good to be back in Belfast. I remember the first time I came here, with a demolishing performance, and I plan on coming back to do the same thing.
I remember in the post-fight interview, you were very excited, and you were very excited, rightfully so, in the ring as well, when the ref waved the fight off. And I remember Eddie saying, as Uncle Al, he referred to him to, of course, your trainer Al Smith, look, maybe just needs to keep Lely, you know, he'll get over this and he'll get back in the gym and be hungry to come back and replicate that. What's been the mindset for you since that fight, and I guess what's it done for the self-belief too?
Yeah, so now I've gained a bit of experience. I know it's like, I don't know, my first press conference, first weigh-in last time. So yeah, I went back to the gym, was learning to keep working on things. So now I'm coming back to Belfast. I'm glad to be back and just put on another demolishing performance.
Lele, how important, we know you had a good junior amateur pedigree, how important was that grounding, those foundations moving into the pro ranks for you?
Yeah, it was good because as an amateur, you know, I flew to Russia, Ukraine. I fought abroad a lot, so coming to Belfast, it wasn't really nothing new to me because I'm used to this stuff.
I tell you what, it's some debut, some shot.
No pressure to replicate that one, Lely,
No.
this weekend. But we look forward to seeing you back doing what you do best in the ring on Saturday night. I'm going to let Darren ask the first question here to someone who is already one of his favourites, and I'll let Darren explain why.
Look at the smile on his face.
He knows already. Kurt Walker. No, I'm just sorry.
Walker, we will get to you, mate. Big fan also. But Giorgio, again, like Lely, what a debut from the famous Repton Amateur Boxing Club like myself. You wore the green and gold with pride. You turned professional. What a shot. Be honest. How many times have you watched that back?
I'll be real. I think I've watched it. I don't even know. I've watched it pretty much every single day. I watch the little clips back on DAZN, on Instagram, all over. I watched the YouTube full fight back and everything. It's a great experience.
We caught up earlier this week, Giorgio, and you said, look, to be honest, as great of a shot as it was,
yeah.
There was no one more surprised, perhaps, than me.
Yeah.
Why was that? Because that's an interesting story as well.
Sorry, say that again, mate.
You said no one was more surprised that you won that first fight in that knockout fashion that you did than yourself. Why was that?
Watching back, I'm not really that surprised now, but then I was, because in the amateurs I was more like boxer, mover, you know, I didn't really get the stoppages, but watching it back, I realised that I'm a good fighter and I can read someone really easily, so yeah, my reaction times are on top.
And I was talking to Sonny Edwards, who I know is in and around the camp, and you're good friends with him as well, and he's looking after you, but straight into 6 rounds. 4-round debut, straight into 6. Why now are you ready to make that progress?
I just think that I do it in sparring, I do 8s, I do 10s, and I do it really comfortably, and I don't think 6, I think an extra 2 rounds is not going to be a problem for me at all.
And Giorgio, confidence must be through the roof with a debut like that. You've got a brilliant team around you. How important have they been to keep you grounded? Keep that confidence there, but to also keep you grounded.
Definitely. I've got Sonny as well. I've got a great manager, and they tell me to keep my feet. Family tell me to keep my feet, and I'm quite a humble lad, and I will do that as well.
Just finally, Giorgio, Mark Tibbs is obviously away with Johnny Fisher, who's in action next Saturday on DAZN in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So that does mean that Sonny Edwards is in and around the corner, is he? What's his role on fight night?
Sonny's just putting the VAS on, that's all he's doing.
Very experienced anyway to be doing that. Cool head in the corner, no doubt. Giorgio, I look forward to welcoming you back to the ring as well. Kurt, let's come to yourself. A late addition to the card. What was going through your mind when you got the call, I presume from Jamie Conlon, that this opportunity had presented itself?
Get on a flight straight to England, do some shooting. But nah, happy. Big thanks to Matchroom Common Boxing for getting me on the show. It's what I want, activity. I have big plans for this year. I'm looking to have big fights. I've been pro 2 years now. I had a long amateur career where I've done good things, so I'm ready to go now. I don't want to waste time.
And you're no stranger to the big stage. Been involved in many a big card. You boxed at Wembley Stadium as well, right? On the Tyson Fury, Dillian White undercard. Boxed on various cards, which Michael Conlon has headlined in Belfast too. 3 8-rounders now under your belt in 9 fights. What stage of your career do you believe you're entering now?
I'm just ready to go. Big fights, any opportunity. I think I have to take my opportunities now. You know, I'm ready to go. I need to get through this fight, obviously, on Saturday. I'm not overlooking my opponent, but big summer fights is what I'm looking. I want to look at the likes of Hoopy Price, Nathaniel Collins, all them boys, so yeah.
And as Jamie said to you, what's been his message? That this is a big opportunity on the big stage. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, but try and look good as well, winning.
Yeah, try and look good, but you know, we'll have big plans, and if I want them big fights in the summer, it's about learning too. I'm still, even though I said I've been pro 2 years, I'm still learning. I'm trying to learn every fight, but it's just about small improvements every time for me.
And you must be thrilled to be fighting back at home. You fought in Belfast a few times. Does that add any pressure, or is it, as you hear in football terms, that 12th man gets the extra percentage out of you?
Yeah, I love it. I was gutted when I was here in December watching Mick and the whole show, the press conference away, and that's why I wanted on the show so badly. I was raging on it. I'm one of the very few boxers who have never fought in the Ulster Hall, amateur or professional, so that's another thing for me. I'm looking forward to that every time I've been there. It's been unreal atmosphere, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Giorgio, Laley, Kurt, very best of luck, gents, this weekend. Look forward to watching all the action, of course, before the bell with Laley and Kurt, and then Giorgio picking us up at 7 p.m. on the main broadcast on DAZN. We're going to pause now for a couple of pictures, but thanks for joining us, gents. So if you come to the front, boys, eyes on Mark Robinson down there, our photographer. Straight back in, Darren. Ooh, we look forward to seeing the young guns in action on Saturday night, and let's bring our next fighters to the stage now. As I mentioned in the intro, Conor Walker upset the apple cart really when he came and beat Cyrus Pattinson, who was one at the time of the top prospects at Matchroom. They were set for a big rematch. Unfortunately, Cyrus forced out of that one through injury, but he does get a chance to compete this Saturday night. He's in with 9-0 Lloyd Germain, who just told me before we started he's here to make the most of this opportunity, change his and his family's life. Let's welcome the two fighters and CEO of Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Frank Smith, to the stage as well.
He's the man who senses he can do this inside the distance. And Pattinson goes down.
Oh, that right hook again lands from Walker. So, no, big right hand from Walker
Well, gents, good to see you all. Frank Smith, let me come to you first. Barely recognised you, of course, when you made your way to the press conference for Joshua Ngannou, but is the hair and the appearance growing on you?
Very good. It's better than your sofa joke. I just didn't want to be compared to Ben Davison anymore, so I thought I'd just take it all off and look like myself.
When we got the news, Frank, that Cyrus was unfortunately injured, you had to look at what the next options would be. I guess you could have waited it out for Cyrus's recovery, but why was it important for Conor to get out, and what do you like about this fight as well?
Yeah, look, obviously Conor had a great performance against Cyrus Pattinson. It was back in Birmingham now, back in August, and you know, we were always planning to do that rematch against Cyrus. Unfortunately, it dragged on, but the key for us was, you know, we got a fight with Conor and we wanted to make sure he was active. And this fight against Lloyd, you know, it's a proper fight, and the two of them coming together. It may not be the exact setting that either of them expected it on, but the key is activity, especially for Conor, who's expecting to fight, but it's a brilliant fight.
Does the winner here then fight Cyrus, do you feel?
I think, look, you know,
regardless of who wins this.
Yeah, look, I think Cyrus has obviously he's got to get back from his injury, so, you know, we'll see what happens with that. These guys have obviously got to focus on both of their careers. They won't be looking past Saturday night. It's a proper fight, a real test. But, you know, for us with Cyrus, we obviously invested. We believe he's a tremendous talent. It would be a great fight, but, you know, the focus for both of these guys will be Saturday night and not looking beyond that.
Well, Conor, welcome. Not the fight, as we were saying there, the rematch that you've been preparing for with Cyrus Pattinson, but Lloyd Germain here, a hungry, unbeaten fighter. How grateful are you to Frank, Eddie, Matchroom that this opportunity has presented himself?
Oh, I'm massively grateful. You know, as boxers, I would know, like, inactivities can kill you, so I'm blessed to be getting out so early in the year. And I've got a test in front of me, which is, you know, he's undefeated, 9-0. He's a good talent, and you know, we've spoke in the past, and you know, we get on or whatever. But all that's aside now, because we've got to go to war, and that's that.
You ripped up the script last time. You told everyone, including us, that you was going to win that fight against Patterson. How much confidence does that win give you going in with another unbeaten fighter?
Listen, I'm always confident. You know, I go into the trenches every camp. You know, like I say, every fight from now onwards, you know, is one more step of securing a future for my family that I want. So I treat every fighter and every fight the same. I prepare diligently, and it is what it is. He's never tasted defeat, and I'm grateful for him stepping up. But he's got a big task on his hands. He's never fought no one. And he's never fought no one like me. So again, I'm going to tell you all, you know, I'm going to win. It doesn't matter how I win, but I will win.
It's a clash of styles when I look at this fight. Do you feel you're going to be the aggressor in this fight and Lloyd perhaps moving? How do you see this one playing out?
I think what's going to split us here is my pedigree, really. You know, I'm not going to go out there looking to knock him out at all. I'm just going to go and have fun. I know my boxing skill is better than his, so I just need to rely on my boxing. And you know, I love fighting taller fighters. I've always fought taller fighters all my whole career, believe it or not. So look, I'm buzzing for it, and you know, I'm just grateful again for the opportunity. It doesn't matter who gets in, who I've got in the ring. I'm coming to win, and I'm coming to make a mark.
Well, let's bring in Lloyd Germain. Lloyd, I was having a chat with you before we started here, and you were saying this fight is so important for a number of reasons. Just tell us what this opportunity means to you on this big stage, and why, when the call did come, it was an easy yes.
Yeah, obviously I'm in here for big fights, and I'm grateful for the opportunity from DAZN, obviously a Matchroom, to give me the opportunity. And come Saturday, I'm ready to grab the opportunity with both hands. So yeah, obviously beating Conor is just going to progress my career, and that's something I'm very, very looking forward to do on Saturday night.
This man, not short. Sorry, Darren. Not short of confidence, Conor Walker, and I guess rightfully so after the big win against Cyrus Pattinson. What do you know about this man, and what do you bring to the table?
Well, like he said, we spoke to each other in the past. There's no bad feelings. It's business at the end of the day. What he's got, I want very, very much, you know. And he had a great performance against Cyrus, upsetting the apple cart as such. And I've been brought in now, and I'm going to do the same thing on Saturday.
You beat Martin Harkin, who had a similar record to Conor, and you dealt with him comfortably. In your opinion, I'll ask both of you this, who's the favourite going into this fight? Obviously, you've got a big win, but you're unbeaten, 9-0. Who's the favourite going into this fight?
I would say myself going into it. Obviously, I back myself every single time, do you know what I mean? I don't look at anyone's previous opponents or who they've beat. Like he said, he has said, I haven't
Who have you beat?
Pardon?
Who have you beat?
All right, I beat Conor. I beat Martin Harkin. Yeah, okay. Fair enough, yeah, but that's what I say. He said that I haven't fought no one.
Wait until he gets to the ring and you'll see.
Okay, that's fine. We will see. But like you said, I haven't fought anyone, but he hasn't fought myself, so we'll see Saturday night, you know what I mean?
Do you think he's your toughest test to date?
Yeah, he's got to be my toughest test, you know what I mean? He's above me in the rankings. He's very full of himself, you know what I mean, in regards he's confident. So yeah, I know he's going to come to fight. I've come to fight, and the better opponent, the better myself will be. And come Saturday night, you will see that. Any
means necessary, Conor?
Any means necessary. Hey, listen, it's you know, I'm not going to give a prediction, but you know, I'm winning by any means necessary. Like I say, you know, this fight sets up another big fight with Matchroom again. I've just got to keep performing, doing my job, and you know, and the opportunities will keep coming, hopefully, you know. And it's just, it is what it is. It's a job to me. I'm just prepared to do the job at hand.
Well, great stuff, boys. Looking forward to this fight. That's just stoked the fire, hasn't it? That bit more. Conor Walker, Lloyd Germain, 10 rounds, WBA, Continental, International Welterweight title, rather. We're going to pause now for a brief head-to-head, but really looking forward to this clash. You were stirring the pot a bit there, Darren?
I was. Winner stays on. You've got to give it some, haven't you? All the best, lads.
All the best, boys. Look forward to that one. Connor Walker. Lloyd Germain.
That was your wallet on the sofa. There's nothing in it.
It's not worth stealing. Don't worry about that. Well, next to bring to the stage is a young fighter who's really been turning a lot of heads, working with former world champion Andy Lee, back-to-back stoppage wins in great fashion on DAZN last year, looking to extend his professional record to 13 without loss. Paddy Donovan is in this weekend with Williams Herrera of Argentina. Let's get them up.
Paddy Real Deal Donovan.
Really good boxing from Donovan.
He lands with a good shot, all of a sudden it's bang, bang, bang straight away.
Tremendous variety from Donovan.
Boxing beautifully here, Donovan. Oh, big shot!
That was special. Brilliantly timed left hand.
He's a brilliant finisher, Donovan. He's doing well here. Boy, he's hurt to the body. He's down again. The towel
For the
comes in.
second time, in comes the towel.
You can see what it meant to Donovan.
Well, Frank, let's open with yourself here once again. Paddy's nickname, The Real Deal. What do you believe that says about the potential and the star quality that we're seeing so far from this young man?
Yeah, look, I think we saw it in November. It was a tremendous performance, out in Dublin on the Katie Taylor undercard. He's got a huge future. A lot of people have been speaking about him for a long time and saying what he can do, but he showed it that night. And the key is he wants proper fights. He wants real fights. He's not shying away from real tests. And I think 2024 is going to be a massive year for him.
And I guess you, with Matchroom CEO, you must be looking at the new crop coming through, looking at new stars. You look at Paddy, you must think we've got one there.
Yeah, 100%. He can talk, he can fight. Look, at the end of the day, you can do as much talking as you want, but the key is as well getting in the ring and delivering. And like I say, he showed that in November, and I think he's going to show it on Saturday as well. He's got a test on Saturday night, but it's going to set up some massive fights for him. So it's an important fight in his career. And like I say, 2024 is a huge year. It's a great time for Irish boxing, and he's got the potential now to step on and be involved in some big events.
Paddy, welcome back. We'll come to you first. When you listen to Frank speak to you there, you listen to Andy Lee, of course, and all your peers, fellow fighters, talking about yourself and the potential they see in you. How strong is the motivation after the solid momentum you built last year to turn these dreams into reality, talking about fights in Limerick? How strong is the motivation right now?
Yeah, I'm in a great position. Obviously with Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, you couldn't ask for any better. So yeah, got to keep living up to the expectation, keep performing very well at the highest level. The opportunities is there, as you can see there's so many welterweights here today. Yeah, ready to put on a big performance Saturday, and glad to be back in Belfast.
You always talk about having Andy Lee in and around you, not just for the great person he is, but for the mentor. Such a wise head. He's been there, done it, got the T-shirt. What's his message to you? Just, you're a young man. It could be easy for young fighters to get carried away at this stage of their journey. What's been the biggest message from Andy to you heading into this year?
First of all, Andy's been there, he's done that. He knows the road to be a world champion. He knows it's not easy. There's a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, I'm a prospect still with Andy. I'm still under his care. So Andy can see a little bit of me in him and what he's been through. And I got to just listen to Andy and observe everything that I can. And yeah, keep building in the gym, keep working, keep learning with Andy, keep disciplined. And yeah, the world will be my oyster.
It's been a terrific start to the career. Fantastic. 12 wins, 9 KOs. What are the dreams? I know you're not looking past Saturday, but what are the dreams and aspirations for you moving forward? Do you have a particular route that you want to go down?
Yeah, so we've got this fight Saturday. We've got a good challenge in our hands. Deal with that Saturday. We've got May at the Katie Taylor undercard, Croke Park. I'm sure a lot of Irish fans would like to see me on that. And hopefully summertime, Eddie said we can do a show in Limerick City, so why not? As I said, we've got Walker and we've got Lloyd there earlier, so maybe one of them.
What do you know about this man, Paddy?
Yeah, I've seen some of his fights. I'm a very durable fighter, never been stopped. 15 fights, 13 wins. So yeah, it's a great test for me this at this stage of my career. So it's an opportunity for me again to perform at the highest level, and that's exactly what I'm going to do Saturday night.
Well, let's grab a word with your opponent, Williams Herrera, Argentina. We've got our pound for pound greatest translator in the world down there in the front row, Mr. Kieran Simpson, modest as ever. Williams, welcome to Belfast. What does this opportunity mean to you, and why is this a fight that, if you win, what doors could this open? Why is it such an important occasion for you?
En primer lugar, Williams, bienvenido aquí. Es una oportunidad muy grande para ti, pero ¿por qué es tan importante esta oportunidad para ti? ¿Y qué haría en cuanto a abrir las puertas para peleas en un futuro?
No, gracias por la oportunidad. Solamente quería venir a competir. Es una gran oportunidad para mí y quiero demostrar que estoy en el nivel que necesito que estar.
So firstly, I just have to say thank you very much for the opportunity. I've just come here to compete. It's a great opportunity for me, and I just want to show that I'm at this level.
Williams, welcome. I hope you're well. Paddy, your opponent, I'm sure you've watched him. How impressed have you been with your opponent?
Sí, en primer lugar, bienvenido también. Seguramente que has visto a tu oponente Paddy Donovan. ¿Qué opinas de las cintas, de los vídeos que has visto?
He visto unos videos de mi rival. Se mueve mucho, tiene buen potencial, pero bueno, vamos a dar lo mejor de nosotros, venimos a ganar.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of my rival. I know that he moves well around the ring. He has great potential, but we've come here to win, and that's what we're coming to do.
How do you see yourself, Williams, handing this man his first professional defeat? When you see the fight in your mind, how do you see yourself beating Paddy Donovan this Saturday?
Cuando te propones esto en la mente, cuando vayas pensando en lo que va a pasar en la mente, ¿cómo visualizas ganándole a tu oponente y darle esa primera derrota en tu carrera boxística?
Y en el ring solamente hay que estudiar, seguirlo y ver lo que tiene. Hay que ver para sacar lo malo de él.
All I need to do is just study him in the ring, just to watch him, to watch how he develops, how he fights, to kind of get the worst out of him.
Paddy, final one to you. You're saying he needs to get the worst out of you in this fight. If the best you is in the ring on Saturday, what do we see?
Yeah, look, I'm going to try to execute what I've been working in the gym with Andy and my dad. And if I can implement that when it comes Saturday night, I'm sure the Irish fans and the Belfast fans is in for a real treat.
Great stuff. Paddy Donovan versus Williams Herrera live on DAZN over 10 rounds this Saturday night. Gents, great stuff. We'll pause now for the head-to-head.
All the best, lads.
If he loses, that sets him right back.
I will win, and by the end of it, I'll have a few more Irish fans.
I'm hitting harder, I'm fitter than I've ever been. I'm ready to go the distance, but if the opportunity comes, I'll take him in.
We're prepared to fight, and fight who comes.
It looks bad on me to lose to a guy who only has 7 fights, but it won't come that because I'm 100% winning this fight.
What do you believe you can achieve this year?
I can show you better than I can tell you. So stay tuned, C4 shares the name, and you will be entertained.
Well, this fight, I think, is one that everyone is looking forward to. Certainly the potential to be a cracker. José Clark, making a lot of noise, impressing a lot of people since you turned professional. Tokyo Olympian, just 7 fights in your 8th professional fight. A big step up in calibre against former European champion, hometown hero as well, Mr. Tommy McCarthy. Frank, let me come to you. We keep talking about the need for tough fights. And it's really ever since fight camp, isn't it, is that the no easy fights mantra still does reign through. That's what we're trying to do. Why was José Clark versus Tommy McCarthy, when you were sitting down looking at the options, a fight that just made sense?
Look, it's a brilliant fight, and Chev has shown throughout his short professional career that he's willing to take real tests, and that's why he's in the position he's in. Tommy's been in with some great fighters, and he's a real test for Chev on Saturday night. I think the other thing you have to commend Chev for as well is coming to Belfast to Tommy. Tommy's a popular boy around here. He's gonna have a big fan base in there on Saturday. But these are the kind of fights Chev needs to win if he wants to go where we believe he can go, and it's a perfect fight for him.
Tommy.
I'm going to jump straight in
Go
here.
on, Darren, go for it.
Who's the draw here? Who's the attraction here? Obviously, unbeaten, been a wrecking ball so far, but you're the experienced fighter at home, in front of your home, adoring fans. Who's the attraction, do you believe?
You're saying who's the
ace? Yeah, the two of you.
Well, obviously it's me because it's Belfast. You know what I mean? So people from Belfast are coming to watch the Belfast man. But it's an attractive fight, like you say, up-and-coming prospect against, the experienced and talented and handsome Tommy McCarthy.
Chev?
Where was the experienced and handsome Tommy McCarthy in your last fight for your European belt?
What? Chev, don't worry about the last fight. I just went there for the crack, you know what I mean? This time I trained properly for it. It was a last-minute thing. Listen, don't worry about the past. Focus on the present. So all you need to worry about is what's happening on Saturday night. I've took this fight serious because I know you're a serious guy. I'm trained properly, so just worry about that.
Tommy, let me bring you in just based on what you said there, because you said to me earlier this week that you found a bit of a spark and a love for boxing again. Why is that? What's brought that on?
To be honest, Chev actually brought it up. The last fight, like I said, I'm not even joking. I just went there just because I didn't have nothing else to do. And during that fight, I was like, you know what? I love this game. I love fighting. And it just brought back a buzz for me because I hadn't fought for 14 months before that. So that really got my passion back for boxing and, got my head in the game.
You've been in there with top fighters. When you have faced a setback in your career, it has come against a top name. And when you look at this man to your right, the decision to match him after just 7 fights with yourself, what do you make of that decision? Are you surprised by that decision that they're putting Chev in with Tommy McCarthy right now?
I don't know. I had Eddie Hearn on my podcast at the last show. And I said, Eddie, come on, fuck's sake, throw me a ball, I need an easy one. And then he phoned me and said, do you want to fight Chev Clark? So, it's a good fight for me. The WBA title's on the line, puts you back up there in the top 10 rankings. So the winner is going to go high up in the world rankings. So this is almost like a world title eliminator. You put yourself in line for a big title fight.
Chev, do you rate Tommy? Is he your toughest test on paper to date?
We'll find out on Saturday night. Obviously, he's been in with some good guys, and he's been in with some good guys from the British circuit and come up short. Saturday night, we'll find out.
Do you rate him though? At this stage in his career?
I've seen clips of him, but I haven't watched him in depth, throughout his career to rate him.
Tommy, do you think he's overlooking you, maybe?
Possibly, I don't know. But I'm not worried about what's going on in his mind. I'm just focusing on myself. Like I said, this is my city. This is my opportunity to get back to where I was. Well, truthfully, I haven't really left. I've been teetering at this level, just on the brink of breaking through. So I'm not worried about what him or what anybody else is thinking.
Just follow on to you, Tommy, before we bring Chev in. You said to me at the media day yesterday that, you're talking about fast-tracking fighters and Olympians, and you reference, the likes of Vasily Lomachenko who can turn over and fight for a world title very early on in their journey. But when I asked you about Chev Clark and his pedigree, you said you've not necessarily seen the ability that makes you think he should be getting fast-tracked. Can you just tell us about that and perhaps what you have seen of him?
Like I said, you have to be extremely exceptional to fast-track the program. And I mentioned Lomachenko, Usyk, Bivol, there's a handful of guys who's done it. But I said, obviously he has good pedigree. He's an Olympian and had a good amateur career. But even Anthony Joshua, who's probably the greatest heavyweight of this generation, he couldn't even fast track, and he was an Olympic gold medalist. So you can't rush anything what you're doing. Everyone has to do their apprenticeship. And I know Chev's under pressure because of his age, so he has to try and speed up the process. But, I think it's a mistake. I know it's a mistake.
What do you think, Chev, that, I've spoke to you about this before and the Olympic pedigree and how hard you had to work to get there. What do you think sometimes the fighters underestimate that? Underestimate how difficult that was to get into that position and essentially underestimate your experience?
Yeah, most definitely. I think he's talking about being fast-tracked, right? I'm not being fast-tracked. Who's fast-tracking me? I'm moving at my pace. Maybe he's moving slow as he's moved slow in his career. I'm moving at my pace. Are you fast-tracking me?
I think it's the perfect fight for you.
I'm moving at my own pace, so nobody ain't fast-tracking me. They give me a fight, I think I can win it, I'll take it.
It's your first time fighting in front of a hostile crowd. As a professional, you've travelled the world as an amateur. How important do you feel that amateur, going back to that pedigree, will serve you well here? Because there's going to be a lot of boos, I can imagine, on Saturday.
The boos can't fight for you. They're going to fight for him. They're going to come in the ring, and what are they going to do? As you said, as an amateur, I've travelled the world. I've been in hostile places. And it doesn't, you just got to be professional, focus on what you come to do, and execute.
Do you like the energy that's coming your way, Chev, from Tommy, from what he was saying yesterday about, he's not necessarily seen the ability yet? Do you like what's coming your way? Because this maybe is this somewhat new as a pro? I know David Jamieson had a bit to say, but you said to me after that Jamieson fight, it got you back up a bit. Is this doing the same?
What happened to Jamieson?
But does it change how you want to win the fight? Does it change your point to prove?
Bring the same energy Saturday. That's all I'll say on that. He's a funny guy. He's a clown. So,
I'm a comedian.
Bring the same energy on
there's a difference between a clown and a comedian.
Because I'm going to be smiling and laughing as I inflict damage,
Inflict damage? They're dead. Highly dead. Listen, Chev, we don't know each other, right? This is actually the first time I ever spoke to you. So no disrespect. I know you're a solid fighter and you have the amateur background, but when it comes to this city, this iconic Ulster Hall, like you say, you mentioned earlier about the 12th man, that's what's going to be happening. Take me to the next level, and I'm a high-level boxer, right? I haven't shown how good I am in my whole pro career, and I haven't had, it's unbelievable. I've been a pro 10 years now, and I haven't had, a proper, great camp where I can go in, fully confident. This is actually the first time. So shout out to my coaches, Paddy Gall, Mark Ginley, Lloyd Edwards, and we would have left no stone unturned, because as much as it's a big fight for Chev, it's a big fight for me. Like I said, the winner of this goes up into the upper echelons of the rankings. I've been in and around the top 10 in the world since 2019. So this will put me, I just slipped out there, but it ain't no thing. But, after Saturday, we get back up there.
All right, off the back of that, what's your prediction, Tommy?
McCarthy win.
Chev?
He's a funny guy, isn't he?
All right, win or lose, does Chev come on the podcast after?
Do you know what? Tyrone wanted to get Chev on this week. And listen, we're all about content. So if he's sticking around, we'll see, maybe we'll get him on. If he's up for it, but I don't know. Are you up for it, Chev? He's not up for it, I don't know. Cat got his tongue.
Chev, are we done? Final message, Chev. Final message. Your predictions are normally very short and sweet. I know you don't like giving them, but what do you demand from yourself in that ring on Saturday?
You guys know what I do, man. You know what I do.
Chev, you've been in the whole leap of talking the whole time, but now you're up here to talk. You won't talk. Just say what you...
Mate, I was a lorry driver when he was a pro, and you're telling me that your best performance is going to be against me. I was a lorry driver when you did your professional debut. I was a lorry driver.
Happy days.
I stopped low driving, went to the Olympics, turned pro, had 7 fights. Saturday night, I'm going to kick your ass, and you're telling me this is going to be your best performance.
You see the control I have? I told him to talk, and next thing he put the badge in his back. Good man, I'm the puppet master. You know what I'm saying? Good man, say we put a plan in the bar.
And he's telling me this is going to be his best performance against me.
Larry,
Man, you're a clown, get off the stage.
Yes. Talk what I told you to talk. I'm unreal.
Are we done?
You're right over there, Frank.
Do a face-off.
We'll pause now for the face-off. Can't wait. Chef Clark, Tommy McCarthy.
Face-to-face. Cheers, boys.
This is what you dream of when you start out. Main event, home city, top of the bill. This is why I work so hard every day.
Espero que Peter, mi rival, se prepare bien porque va a ser una guerra y vamos a...
This is the year of Lewis Crocker. We're starting 2024 with a bang.
Y tengan listos los fuegos artificiales porque es seguro que va a haber dinamita ese día.
He likes to come to the fight, and so do I. Let's have it. January 27th, live on DAZN.
Well, this main event, a very intriguing clash at 147 pounds. Lewis Crocker quickly becoming a little bit of a flag bearer for Belfast boxing right now, up against José Félix. José, of course, came over and broke Irish hearts when he beat Gary Cully in Dublin. We know what he can do when he's at his best. Frank Smith, let's come to you first. When you're looking at fights, and we keep talking about hard fights, as I say, we saw what José Félix can do when he beat Gary Cully. What do you like about this main event?
Yeah, look, you know, Lewis obviously showed in December on that Michael Conlan undercard. He's got a massive future, and we've seen great nights in Belfast here over the years, whether it be Carl Frampton, Mick Conlan, Ryan Burnett, and this is Lewis's opportunity now to step on into those big nights. I think, you know, with Jose, we saw when he fought Gary Cully what he can do, and looking at the pictures of him yesterday, he looks like he's coming here to fight. You know, and also, I have to say well done to both these guys. It was made on late notice, and that's, you know, that's key for this sport, is working with professionals who are ready to go, who are in the gym non-stop. Both of these guys are. And I think it's a brilliant fight, and it's the kind of fight Lewis needs to step on. But Jose's not coming here to, you know, to lay down.
Lewis, I mean, you look at what Eddie's been saying. He's been comparing Lewis to Gennady Golovkin. Absolutely no pressure whatsoever, Lewis, on that front. That's a brilliant compliment. But in terms of the boxes he's ticking right now, I mentioned about being a flag bearer. What boxes is he ticking right now as a 26-year-old up-and-coming star for Matchroom and DAZN?
Well, look, he's young and he's in a market where there's a love and a passion for boxing. You know, we hadn't been to Belfast for a long, long time, but, you know, obviously came back here with Mick in December. And like I say, this is Lewis's chance, because he's in a place where people talk about boxing. It's great to come somewhere where people, you know, cab drivers, everyone's talking about the boxing at the weekend, because you don't get that everywhere. And he's got that perfect opportunity to recreate those sold-out nights in Belfast. Obviously, we're at Ulster Hall. It's going to be a tremendous atmosphere on Saturday. But this is his chance. He's got the personality, and he's got the skills and ability. And, you know, he needs a big performance on Saturday night. But this can really set him off for massive fights in 2024 and beyond, and sort of take that leading position in Belfast boxing.
Off the back of that, then, it must be a little bit of squeaky bum time when you've got someone like Felix who can punch as hard as he does. He's already ripped up the script once. You'll be sat there a little nervous, I can imagine, Saturday night.
Yeah, look, 100%. You know, we saw against Gary Cully. You know, look, that was Gary Cully's coming out party, really, to, you know, take the reins of Dublin boxing back then in May. There was a lot of pressure on him, but José Félix came here. Again, he came to win that night, and he's going to come to win on Saturday night. But it's the kind of fights we need to see. You need to see fights where people are coming to win, because it does nothing. You know, it does nothing for Lewis's career bringing someone over who's got no intention to come and get the win. You know, this is the perfect fight for him.
Lewis Crocker, great to see you. You told me that you were halfway through a kebab when you got the call to fight here, headliner in Belfast. I guess when you think about ticking boxes and what dreams are made of, how much does this appeal to you this week and Saturday night?
Oh, amazing. Amazing to be back in Belfast so soon again. Headlining this time. Obviously last month the atmosphere in the city was amazing. Fight week was great. Fight night was great. So to be doing it again so soon, unreal, against a very dangerous opponent as well. You know, as it says, coming off a win with Gary Cully. He looked very good in that fight, very strong. So I'm expecting fireworks on Saturday.
You touched on the show last month. It was incredible. Your performance was incredible. It was brutal. How do you grade your own performance that night?
Because it was Belfast v Belfast, A-star, you know what I mean? It has to be, like, that meant everything to me. It was the prey thing. I said that during the fight. As long as I got the victory, it would have been A-star regardless. So to come through, you know, to do what I did in front of my friends, my family and stuff, it was amazing. And it put me on the map, so it did. So everything went well.
And I remember we watched that fight back together, didn't we, in the build-up to the fight in Billy Nelson's living room. And you just got the feeling, Lewis, when you were watching it, that it gave you the same goosebumps when they were reading out the decision. What's it done in just giving you a taste of what is there for you? And I guess the only person standing in the way now is yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Like with the platform of Matchroom and DAZN and stuff now, like everything's so different. You know, going into the fight week last time, I realised like this is the big stage. Like, so to put on a good performance, and they have obviously confidence in me. They set me up main event the next month again. Like, so as I want to do, I want to continue. I'm not looking past José Félix, but big statement on Saturday puts me on for a big year.
Is it another case of seek and destroy when you look at Felix? First bell goes centre of the ring and tries to inflict damage?
I think it's the same with every fighter I'm going to fight. You know what I mean? That's the mentality, and that's the fighter that I am. And I'm expecting an exciting fight because I think he's all going with the same mindset.
And when we talked about the Tyrone McKenna fight, you know, that was the Battle of Belfast, and there was so much pride on the line, and that's why the victory meant so much to you and why defeat was unimaginable.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at this one, is there a different sense of pride as well in front of your friends, your family, your people? No room for error here for you on Saturday, Lewis.
No, of course. Actually, this is a more dangerous fight than the McKenna one. But with the McKenna one, I think there's more pressure, maybe mentally. But you know, there's just as much as at stake with each and every fight. And as I say, is like he'll be full of confidence with the Gary Cully win, and we're looking to have another upset in Ireland.
Well, let's bring in the challenger, José Félix, as well. Once again with our trusty translator, the best in the business, Kieran Simpson down there. José, welcome back. Main event, we saw you, of course, on DAZN. You rematched Sandor Martin in the main event. You had that big win against Gary Cully. You've been involved in big fights, but coming back to Ireland, how strong is the motivation, the self-belief to spoil the party and break some hearts once again?
Bienvenido en primer lugar. Te hemos visto ya ahora de main event aquí en Irlanda. Te hemos visto ya pelear contra Sandor Martin. Tuviste la pelea con Gary Cully. Obviamente es una gran oportunidad para ti. Pero ¿y cuántas ganas tienes y cuánta confianza tienes de que puedes arruinar la fiesta y romper los corazones irlandeses una vez más?
Bueno, primero que nada, muchas gracias a toda la gente, gracias a Dios, gracias a Matchroom por seguir tercos en quererme probar. Quiero demostrar, quiero dar las gracias también a Paco Damián, que es el que se ha encargado de todo. Quiero darle las gracias a toda la gente que me ha apoyado acá en Irlanda. Tengo más seguidores en Belfast que en México, gracias a Dios. Entonces, esta será una pelea interesante contra... Ellos solamente piensan en la pelea de Cully, es lo único que están pensando, pero yo he estado en grandes peleas. Esta pelea me preparé bastante bien. Contra Cully me preparé para dar el peso nada más, porque me hicieron bajar a 37 libras, yo soy 40. Ahora me hicieron subir a 47. Es parte del show, pero ahora me entrené mucho mejor porque no estuve batallando para el peso. Me entrené para ganar esta pelea y verme mejor que nunca para que Eddie Hearn tenga la nueva estrella del boxeo en México.
Right, Kieran, show us why you're the best in the business.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to all the people that are gathered here. I want to say thank you to God. Also, Matchroom for continuing to give me these opportunities. Also, Paco, who manages everything for me. I also have to thank the people of Ireland for the support. It's almost as if I have more supporters in Belfast than I do in Mexico now, so I thank God for that also. And I'm very interested. I think this fight will be a really interesting fight, because when I fought Cully, it was a real battle for me to get down to that weight. So the main battle I had was with making weight more than anything. This time I'm fighting at 147. I'm much more prepared, and I'm hoping to put on a better show this time so that Eddie Hearn gets to see me win and gets to see that I'm the new star of Matchroom.
Jose, you've obviously seen your opponent box, physically very strong, punches very hard. We see against Cully that you can move, you can box, and you can also punch. How do you approach this fight?
Sí, sabemos que tu oponente es fuerte, es muy físico, pega también muy fuerte, tiene mucha pegada, pero vimos en tu pelea con Gary Colley que sabes mover también, que sabes boxear. ¿Cuál es la propuesta para esta pelea? ¿Cómo lo vas a enfrentar?
Sí, como te comenté hace ratito, contra Cully me preparé para dar el peso. Me sentía débil en la pelea, pero esta vez pues el peso no va a ser un problema, entonces trabajé sin pensar en la báscula y eso es una gran ventaja. Mi rival va a cargar el peso y va a querer estar sobre mí, pero tengo la mochila llena de trucos. Ya le dije a Eddie Hearn, no quiso entender. Esperemos vengo por otro invicto aquí en Irlanda.
Yeah, as I said before, I just said recently, my main problem or my main battle for that first fight against Cully was making the weight. This time, there won't be this issue, there won't be this pressure to make the weight. My battle was with the scales on that occasion. But this time, I think that will work to my advantage. I know my opponent will try to use that weight for me, against me in the way that he can. But I'm sure that I can go on and get this victory on Saturday night and put on a good show.
Do you think, Lewis, he's going to try and hold the centre of the ring? Do you think that's a silly game plan, or do you think he'll move?
No, well, I think he will hold the centre of the ring. Do you know what I mean? He's sounding confident and he's good shape. You seen with the photos yesterday, and he says with the weight's not an issue and stuff this time. So yeah, I can see it being toe-to-toe from the bell.
And in terms of predictions, Lewis, what do you see being the final moments of this fight on Saturday?
Me with my arm raised, that's the main thing.
And for you, Jose, final word to the people of Belfast. You've been to Ireland, as I say, you did it in Dublin. The final message from yourself and to people watching back home, what do you promise them?
Sí, un mensaje final para la gente. Ya lo hiciste una vez en Dublín, un mensaje final para la gente que te va a estar viendo allí en sus casas.
Estén atentos, no pierdan detalle de la pelea porque ustedes saben que Crocker pega fuerte, yo pego fuerte, los fuegos artificiales estarán 100% en el ring. Será una gran pelea y quiero a esta ciudad y a este país porque son como mexicanos. La gente siempre quiere apoyar y estoy agradecido con todos.
So what I'd say is, don't take your eyes off this fight. You know that Crocker hits hard. I hit hard too. I think it will be a great fight. I love this city. I love these people. I feel like Mexico, and I feel like I've got the support. So I'm very, very grateful to the people here.
Gents, this fight has been called the Danger Zone. It's live this Saturday on DAZN. Your main event, ladies and gentlemen, Lewis Crocker versus José Félix. 10 rounds in a very intriguing fight, boys. Thanks for joining us. We'll bring you up for the head-to-head now. Well, that was fun, Darren. Enjoyed that. That concludes today's press conference. Let's just give you a final reminder of what to look forward to on Saturday night. We begin 6 p.m. Before the bell, the return of Lily Buttigieg, second professional fight for him, and Kurt Walker, part of the Conlan boxing camp, meets Darwin Martinez over 6 rounds at super featherweight before we cross live to the DAZN broadcast. The usual time, 7 p.m. Giorgio Viziali steps up to 6 rounds for professional fight number 2. He's in with 4-2 Samuel Pekire. Conor Walker back after his rematch with Cyrus Pattinson was postponed. He takes on Cardiff's 9-0 Lloyd Germain in defence of his WBA International welterweight title over 10 rounds before the high-flying Paddy Donovan looks to move 13 without loss against Argentina's Williams Herrera. 10 rounds that one for the WBA Continental 147-pound title. The chief support a cracker, as if we needed a bit more excitement. I'm pretty sure, Darren, we just got it from that press conference here today. Chev Clark, Tommy McCarthy collide in a very intriguing cruiserweight clash over 10 rounds for the WBA Intercontinental Cruiserweight crown. Setting us up nicely for the main event, Belfast's own Lewis Crocker collides with José Félix. As we said, no stranger to an Irish upset. This one a guaranteed barn burner over 10 rounds for the vacant WBO Intercontinental welterweight title. That was fun, wasn't it?
Really looking forward to that. We've got a bit of everything. We've got prospects, potential stars, rising stars, and fireworks. If what they've just said in the press of theirs true, we're going to have an absolute blockbuster of a main event on Saturday.
Absolutely, and we will be back tomorrow for the official weigh-in. Join us, usual social channels, Matchroom and DAZN, from 1 p.m. And if you're in the area of the Europa Hotel, I hope I've got that right. If not, my press officer's going to be having a very serious word with me. But join us as well. We'll see you for the weigh-in tomorrow, 1 p.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.